Weatherly Hotel, Rivet City Clinic, Marketplace, Bridge Tower. That's what time is it in game? Not really worth it. So Science Lab, Muddy Radar. Who have I got to speak to again? Learn history. So bridge to, well, let's start at the top. Okay. That's all to take me back. What's going to help is using my... oh, no, it's not. Okay, so don't interact. So this is going to be on the deck. Planes! Interesting. Guessing you're just another door. You are. That goes outside. Flight deck. Gets back here.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any? I'm on duty. Make it quick. Bye.
Bye.
Is there a problem?
Nope. Can't sleep there. What are you? Couple of lunch boxes. Right, so that was pretty unsuccessful. It is getting lighter. Okay. Hello.
This area. Sir, yes, sir. Private Jones reporting. Sir, this slag heap is guarding the armory, sir.
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, you are not authorized to enter the armory. Sir, please don't make me shoot you, sir.
Okay. Flight deck. And we can go up even more. Just in case. Coffee pot.
I think I'll get some air out on the flight deck. Maybe you don't know who you're talking to. I'm Commander Danvers, Assistant Chief of Security.
So you report to Chief Hawkins.
I'm his second in command. I run the night shift and he runs the day shift. Is this conversation going somewhere? Because I've got things to do.
Let's try you.
Sorry, but I don't really know much about it. More worried about what's going wrong with the here and now, see?
Okay.
Duty calls. I'm on duty. Make it quick.
Okay. Security terminal. Don't want to play with that. Guessing same deal here. Yep. Very easy, but very bad. Oh. It's the middle one, isn't it? Yep, the middle one takes me back down. And then we want to go back down again. See, to me, this was always one of the more fleshed out locations. Because it is pretty tidy. Stairwell. So there's that. Marketplace. Nope. Okay. Not open yet. Okay.
We haven't met. I'm Bannon, proprietor of Potomac Attire and city council member. You should stop by my shop. What you're wearing is dreadful.
I see you're also a person of refinement.
Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business. Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave?
Hasn't Rivet City been around longer for 12 years?
Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie.
Okay.
It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes.
Whoever he is.
A threat? No, of course not. Well, maybe. He wants to replace me on the council. He's a shady character. I just can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Tamper with that and we're gonna have a problem.
Okay. So we're on our way to Science Hotel Clinic. Rankin Shuffles. The hotel. You the Toto?
Ready to order, Mr. Father Clifford? Welcome to the Weatherly. Mr. Buckingham at your service. This is the Weatherly Hotel. It's the finest establishment in Rivet City.
Okay.
I serve Miss Vera Weatherly, proprietor of the Weatherly Hotel. Not that it's any of your business.
That's it for now.
Yes, sir.
The work that Dr. Lee is doing is just amazing. I might even be able to produce broccoli in the hydroponic gardens next year.
That's wonderful. I've read about broccoli in the old books, but I've never seen any.
I think you're getting your broccolis confused.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Zimmers. Marketplace, which is closed.
Over an hour.
That's why I'm glad I'm in here.
Okay.
Me too. Nothing is getting through these walls.
No.
I am Father Clifford of St. Monica's Church.
Okay.
She is the patron saint of lost children, very popular among the faithful of Rivet City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's not the past of the city that I dwell upon, but the future of its inhabitants. But if you're interested, I believe Miss Weatherly or Mr. Bannon would be glad to speak with you on the subject. Saint Mon...
Uh-huh.
Everything looks okay here.
Okay. You take me to the marketplace, which is probably not open. That's not open. Ooh. What do we have going on here? Nope. I thought I saw something move. Stanley's
Any
door.
trouble in this area?
Hello.
Yeah? What do you want? Oh, really? My husband ran off and got himself killed and left me to raise his little brat. So don't you tell me how I should or shouldn't be.
Okay.
Don't mind me, mister.
Nice bike. Now, science lab. Can tell his door. Science lab is pretty important, so we'll put a pin in that. Capital Preservation Society. Ooh. You might have some answers. Okay, we'll come back to that. Is there someone around here for me to talk to? No? Hello? Wakey wakey.
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history. Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection.
Ooh, and what that might be.
In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence.
Uh-huh. So, you want me to retrieve it?
Indeed I do. Without the Declaration, the rest of these relics are almost meaningless. I must have it. Acquire the document for me, and you'll be awarded most handsomely. What do you think?
Interruptions, gotta love them.
You'd secure your place in history. The man who rediscovered the Declaration of Independence. Imagine the fanfare.
Yeah, let's stop beating around the bush.
Sorry, my mind tends to wander. I will see to it that you receive a worthwhile trade. I have in my possession the only known schematic for the creation of something called the railway rifle. Bring me the Declaration, and it's yours.
Okay.
Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives.
Okay.
Please ask them. After all, knowledge is power. Well, this is quite embarrassing, actually. I sent someone like yourself after the Declaration. She did some of the research for me, but now I haven't seen her in a few months. I wouldn't worry about it. Many have died for causes far less grand than what you're about to undertake.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Certainly. In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants. Here, let me pinpoint its location for you.
Thank you.
It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the capital, but I really haven't got any idea about Rivet City itself. I can't see how important it is compared to the capital's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all.
Okay.
Be careful. The archives are infested with who knows what.
Great. You've stitched me up, haven't you? That's a bad idea. Science lab. May as well.
But surely one of you glorified test tube doctors can assist me. For the most scientific center of the capital, I find your...
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake. The technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
Garza, you stacked those crates on the cables again. They need to be moved.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire?
I would like to say I think that woman's voiced by Moira. That depends what exactly we're talking about here.
To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property. How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off.
Yes, foreshadowing, but of a future game. Sounds like slavery to me. You sure they don't wander off on purpose?
Nonsense! This is a machine we're talking about. Can you enslave a generator or a water purifier? Of course not. The same principle applies. But let's get back to your mission. You are to find this missing android. I've tracked him to somewhere here in the capital Wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it. Of course! I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think, you'll be the envy of all your friends.
Okay.
Excellent! Locate my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that.
Okay.
Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically. Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings. Looks to me like a giant boat ran aground and a bunch of savages moved in. History lesson over. Of course you do. There was some sort of battle in the city yesterday. The gate guards said the gunfire went on for over an hour.
That's why I'm glad I'm in here. Good old Rivet City. What do you need? She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here, though that's not saying much.
Yeah, that's definitely the same voice actress.
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
Thank you.
He's from up north. He was bragging about how great it is up there. Yeah, great. They can't even keep tabs on their robots. Later.
I can hardly sleep.
Maybe a quick fix has something to help you sleep.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking.
It was so noisy last night.
If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like that.
Okay, so he's gone off. Yeah.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you? What are you doing here?
Wait. How do you know who I am? Have we met?
You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same.
Bum, bum, bum. So the intro wasn't in the vault.
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there. Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already.
Could you please?
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone.
Okay, so that that place infested with super mutants.
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know? James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time, and wants to try again. Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you. Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could. Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay. Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again.
That's good.
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now.
Okay.
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
Right.
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know?
Would you like to know more?
It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated. We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment. You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I said that.
That man doesn't have you looking for his pet android, does he? I've already told him to lay off it. He's distracting my entire team. Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors, or your chasing after him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I am not in a position to help you.
Okay.
You understand, I have enough to worry about already.
You said that.
I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days.
Okay.
Good luck finding your father.
Thank you. I'm not going to. repeat lots of that dialogue.
This place could use a few more people willing to work. Everything is falling apart. I'm the only one willing to fix it. Despite all my time working here, I've got no clue. Seagrave Holmes is about the only person I know who's more familiar with the place. Born and raised on the hangar deck, but don't hold that against him. He can't help where he came from, and his heart's in the right place. Nice talking to you.
You're the weakest link. Goodbye.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last
week. It would make things easier for... Please excuse me. There is much work to be done. I help Dr. Lee when she needs equipment moved. I am no scientist. I just help with the heavy things.
I heard she was drinking river.
Okay.
The ship's water isn't much better.
Ooh.
If we don't get fresh water,
Door.
we'll all end up like that.
Hydroponics. I don't think I ever actually went in here. And this is its own zone and it goes nowhere. Weird. Let's... This has got to be your office. Museum of Technology. Courage today, victory tomorrow. I really need to stop doing this voice. It's going to wreck me. So we've been there. Uh-huh. What are we tracking? Oh, we need to change this. Ooh, okay. So map is saying this way, this way. I haven't been in this direction. Oh, good. I can have that. Hello.
This place won't clean itself. That's my job. We're the lucky ones. We don't have to fight just to survive. We have normal jobs. I clean the halls. It might not look like it, but you should have seen it before. Henry's my husband. I have a daughter, CJ, too. You'll see her running around here with James Hargrave. Oh, I don't know about that. For all I know, it's had survivors on it since the war. I'm just thankful it's here. Maybe if you ask Bannon. He's been simply wonderful on the council, so I'm sure he'd be glad to help with your question.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Oh, that was my line. So you're the church.
God bless you.
Rectory door. Let's not try and get involved with that. Seagrave Holmes.